I have received hundreds of comments like this, and let's talk about it. When Colonel Sanders was 16 years old, he lied about his age to join the Army. Why did he do this? Because his stepfather didn't want children. He didn't like the idea of having stepchildren. So he told the boys it was time to get out of the house and become a man. My great great grandfather Clarence Sanders went to their uncle's house in Alabama and stayed down there. Uncle Harley lied about his age and joined the Army, and he was stationed in Cuba during the second occupation of Cuba. He was a wagoneer for the Army in Cuba. And then he was sent back to the States because they found out that he lied about his age. He was discharged from the Army, he came back to the States, and he went to live with his brother, my great great grandfather, and their uncle in Alabama. That's where Uncle Harley met his wife, Josephine, his first wife that he had his children with, was in Alabama. He eventually, through all the careers that he failed at, ended up back into Kentucky. See, they started it in Henryville, Indiana. I should have mentioned that in the beginning. And in the end, they ended up in Kentucky. And Uncle Harley had just gotten into a shootout in the 1920s with a rival competitor of Standard Oil. He was working for Shell. The rival, Matt Stewart, was for Standard Oil. He got into a shootout with him. Matt Stewart killed the Robert Gibson, an executive of Shell, and was wounded by Colonel Sanders in the gunfight, but survived. A cop later killed Stewart, eliminating the competition. Well, the Great Depression came around. In 1929, they were forced to close down that Shell station. He was not a colonel at this point. The same year, because of his reputation running that Shell station, they awarded him the lease to the Pure and Oil station in Corbin, Kentucky, and it was right behind his house where he lived. That Pure and Oil service station, he would build on a motor court, and that would be the motel, the Sanders Court and Cafe. The cafe was built onto the lobby area where you paid for your gas. If you're thinking of a traditional gas station today, it was a little different. You had people come out and serve you instead of you putting the gas in your car yourself. Uncle Harley would put the gas in your car. Well, at that gas station, he built on a cafe and diner that could seat at least 100 people. He had people coming through, buying up the meals that he had to offer. Did you know that he started selling fried okra before fried chicken? Between the years 1930 and 1940, he was developing the 11 herbs and spices for his chicken. In between that, Duncan Hines did a food review of his location, which brought in a lot of traffic to Corbin, Kentucky. The governor of Kentucky, Ruby Laffoon, then commissioned Colonel Sanders in 1935, a Kentucky colonel. This was midway to him completing the 11 herbs and spices. It wasn't even completed yet. But Ruby Laffoon commissioned him a Kentucky colonel for the contribution to the state's cuisine, which brought in a lot of economic opportunities for the state of Kentucky at the time, brought a lot of attention on the map. He lost his certificate, and then the governor, after Ruby Laffoon, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, recommissioned him. You can get commissioned more than once. It's not a military role, although the Kentucky colonels have been around since the year 1813. And they originally did serve military purposes because during the War of 1812, they were a militia for Kentucky. After they returned home from the War of 1812, and one of the battles that they were serving in, they disbanded it, the militia, but the Kentucky colonel title became an honorary thing. When Governor Ruby Laffoon took over the state as the governor and the organization, they convinced him to reform the group into the Honorable Order of the Kentucky Colonels that we know and love today. That was what commissioned Colonel Sanders as a colonel. So it's completely unrelated to military. It's an honorary title. It's the highest honor of Kentucky. While it used to serve a military purpose, it no longer does, and it's unrelated to current military colonels. He did not receive the colonel title through his military service.